Tonight at the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we're going to go through Becky Lynch relinquishing her title last night on Monday Night Raw and how in the world Asuka became the world champion. Also, we're going to talk about Sting and his contract with WWE Legends contract. It expired and now Mattel went and pulled out his action figure from the stores. Also, Kazuchika Okada talks about his time in the United States about 13 years ago and how he was in hell living here in the United States and also in Mexico. Also, we're going to talk about the WWE brand split. Is it going to happen? It's not going to happen, but it looks like they're going to have Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin on Monday night. That and much more on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Welcome back, guys, to the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. I am your host, the Ultimate One. I'm coming to you live from New York City. I want to thank all my supporters who actually helped me get 4,500 views. I want to thank you guys for supporting that. Also, 55 subscribers. We're trying to go for 60. Hopefully, you guys can help me out. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. And check out the channel. The channel has a bunch of videos. You guys can leave me your comments, anything you feel. Give me a thumbs up. That will help the channel greatly on the search engine. But let's jump on this right away. We're gonna jump over what happened last night at Monday Night Raw as Becky Lynch went and relinquished her WWE Raw's Women's title because she is now going to be a mom. So let's jump first. Before I get into this, let's talk about what happened on Money in the Bank and the women's Money in the Bank briefcase. The show, let me put it this way, the pay-per-view itself was not bad. I mean, I didn't really want to see it because I was like, oh, they pre-recorded the women's women's and men's Money in the Bank match into the building because it was going all the way to the top of the roof, and on the top of the roof you had a ring in there, and then you go and grab the briefcase. So as you guys know, Otis won from the men's side, Asuka won on the women's side. Now I was surprised that Asuka won because I was expecting Shayna Baszler to win. Baszler again is getting buried. I don't know why. McMahon doesn't like her. If you didn't like her, you should have never brought her up, left on NXT, and she would have been fine. But right now, she's looking like she's in some type of hot water. I don't know why, but she's not being pushed like she's supposed to. But Asuka ends up winning the Money in the Bank. Now, last night, Becky Lynch shows up. Is very emotional. Talks about about the fans, how she had nobody, and now the fans were the one who pushed her to become a great wrestler or whatever the case may be. But she talks about, how now she will have to relinquish the belt. Asuka came out and she had the first of all, the funny thing is that she came out with the Money in the Bank briefcase. That alone was like, okay, this don't seem right. Asuka comes out fighting, pissing a bitch about her briefcase, why she got the briefcase, whatever. So she has every right to be biffing about. Once she opened the briefcase, the Universal title, or not the Universal title, I'm sorry, the Women's Raw title was inside. And Becky relinquished the belt because now she's going to be a mom. Now, Asuka, before she found out she was going to be a mom, she was jumping around, dancing, making a full mockery of herself. I mean, I don't like what they're doing with her at all. And when she came back in the ring, Becky told her, well, I'm going to be a mom, you go be a warrior. And they ended up hugging, whatever. My thing is, why WWE did not do a tournament? A woman's tournament. You would have done a tournament. You keep your audience watching during this time of the CV, and you would have done. You could have done exactly what AEW is doing right. Well, they were doing, and that was the TNT title. You get 8 wrestlers to perform. You every week you show one bracket. Do it for 4 weeks, and keep doing it all the way to SummerSlam because you guys don't have a WWE pay-per-view coming up in June. You could have done that and would have made it entertainment. You can't say you don't have women's wrestlers, because women's wrestlers you have enough. You know what I'm saying? You could have used Dana Brooke. You could have used Carmella. You could have used Naomi. You could have borrowed some of the girls from SmackDown that are not being used, because you already got Bayley as a champion. So you could have used any of those girls. And you could have made a tournament of 8 females, one of your top 8 females, including Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax. You could have had Sasha Banks in there. You could have done 8-woman tournament. And then the winner of that tournament could have went and faced Asuka, who was the women's Money in the Bank winner. And then you would have had a championship, and the winner of that wrestles each other on SummerSlam. But WWE, being lazy like they always are, decided not to go to that route. And now I'm not saying that Asuka is a bad wrestler, because Asuka, first of all, and the reason I'm beefing about this, because Asuka was the longest NXT women's champion, reigning women's champion in NXT. Now she got hurt, she had to relinquish the belt, she came up the roster, and WWE could have used her. The SmackDown or Raw, whatever roster she was in, they could have used her, pushed her, and pushed it to the limit. Now, after almost 2 years that she won, yes, she won the SmackDown belt, but then she lost it to Charlotte. And you could have used her and you could have pushed her, but instead, no, you made her go and team up with, I forgot her name, oh my God. The Kabuki Warriors. You put her in the group with the Kabuki Warriors. I forgot the girl's name. She's engaged to Evil from New Japan. And Io Shirai, I think that's her name. Oh, I don't know. Io Shirai is the one from NXT. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. You had in a tag team. They won the tag team belts, and those belts don't mean nothing. So all this time, then you break up the team Kabuki Warrior. Now you pushing her after 2-3 years. This is nonsense. This is creative. WWE created being lazy. You could have just done a tournament. It would have made more sense. You would have had Asuka waiting in the wings for whoever wrestles, wins the tournament, and you would have won it for the title, and you would have had it in SummerSlam. But they're not doing that. So, also talking about the brand split. The brand split right now, they're talking about there is no more brand split. So now they're doing an invitation. Whoever wants to come from SmackDown to Raw, they could go to Raw. If Raw, anybody from Raw wants to come to SmackDown. Listen, y'all guys were doing this shit years ago. And now, did it work? They're doing this because of ratings. Their ratings are horrible. But the ratings did much better than last night that they did the night before, the last month, put it that way. So they did pretty well, I guess, because of maybe the whole Seth Rollins and destroying Mysterio and throwing him eye first into the staircase. I guess that brought it up. I mean, and stuff like that. WWE could be doing that every week, and you could get better ratings. But you guys, they spent the most of the night last night talking about how Becky Lynch is pregnant and mentioned it 27 times. That's how crazy it was. But there goes your brand split stuff. You know, I don't know. The brand split right now, they're already starting it off horrible. Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin on Monday. I'm going to go into the bathroom to take a piss while that match is going on, because Baron Corbin has been given opportunity after opportunity. And the thing that pisses me off is WWE has so much talent and they're not using it. To top it off, you have a guy named Austin Theory, the future of the wrestling. And you guys are just throwing him in there with Selena Vega's guy, and you're making a mockery out of him. With this guy, it's the future of wrestling. And if you guys don't know who this guy is, go and check his Evolve matches, and you see what I'm talking about. McMahon don't give a fuck. McMahon don't care about nothing. McMahon right now is on some don't give a shit, because he doesn't care. You saw him Money in the Bank when he looks like he hasn't slept. His eyes all baggy and whatnot. He looks horrible. 2 weeks ago when he came on the Triple H 25th anniversary, you could tell he lost weight. The guy's lost weight. He's not buff like he was before. He's stressed out. Oh, yeah. Now, let's talk about another situation in WWE. Sting, his Legends contract is over. All of a sudden, that's reported. And it's how ironic that his contract is over. And because his Legends contract is over, his his toy, his I guess his action figure, it was pulled off Mattel. The WWE Legends figures from Mattel was pulled off, and then because his contract is over. Now, I find out that out of nowhere, Sting congratulated Lance Archer. I believe it was last week, and you know, how WWE is. If you talk to AEW, you're gonna get some type of rap, or they're gonna be petty about it. Cody Rhodes also responded to Sting's tweet of Lance Archer, and that all of a sudden now, 2 or 3 days later, now the action figure is no longer in Mattel's because WWE Legends is over. But didn't they design it already before his contract was over? So now you're pulling it out. Oh, Mattel made an announcement. Oh, in the future we'll be able to pull these back up. You guys have it. So it's because WWE probably said don't put it out there. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. WWE always doing some pathetic, stupid shit, which I feel like get over it. Like you guys like do little shit. What's thing is gonna go? All you doing is just pushing all these wrestlers away, and you think anybody wants to work with WWE right now? Everybody in WWE right now is depressed, stressed out, because the old man doesn't care. He doesn't care about nothing. Doesn't care. His stock right now, his WWE stock still at $43. I mean, the stock market's not doing well, but if you put a good brand and a good production, maybe the investors are going to put money in there. But then again, you're so much knee-deep shit with so much lawsuits. It's not even funny. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen, because right now it looks like, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Kazuchika Okada talked about his time in the United States, and yes, I'm going to get into this because a lot of TNA Impact fans like to talk about how New Japan is still butthurt of something that happened 13 years ago. So Okada, supposedly when he was in the United States in 2007 and during his excursion in TNA, he talks about how he went to Mexico first, and in Mexico he didn't know the language barrier. There's Spanish, of course, and he say he had trouble learning Spanish because he had time to learn it because everybody was in there to wrestle. He got to bump into some of his countrymen. There were Japanese wrestlers in there, so he was all right there. It was when he came to the United States where he went to TNA, and he was put together with Samoa Joe as the Green Hornet like a character, and he was not used correctly. By then, Tanahashi and Naito were out of there. They were known as No Limits tag team because they remember not WWE. I'm sorry. Impact had a working relationship with New Japan, and that's how Kurt Angle was a IWGP champion at that time. That New Japan had issues with Tony Inoki and all that nonsense. And TNA showed up at Wrestle Kingdom 2, and they were either 2 or 3, and they participated in that Wrestle Kingdom. You had AJ Styles, Kurt Angle, the Dudley Boys were there. Dudley Boys were the former IWGP champions, tag team champions at that time. So they had a good relationship, but that was when they sent Okada to excursion, who was a young lion at that time. They shitted all over him, made him look bad, and he ended up going back to Japan. A lot of people say, oh, but that was different administration. It was Dixie Carter, whatever. Why still New Japan still butthurt about that? Number one, the guy who you guys shitted on is now one of the best wrestlers in the world. So you think they're going to want to work with you? And it's funny because I had an argument with a TNA fan or Impact fan. And it was after like about 5-6 months that I already had put a video on this channel about TNA being bought by Access Channel. And they brought up the New Japan being butthurt. But let's be realistic. When I put that video back in July, I got heat. Oh my God, you know what you're talking about. Impact is going to be better than AEW. AEW is garbage, and AEW had not even started yet. So people were already criticizing AEW before they even made the first show. Even before, well, they did a couple of pay-per-views, but they weren't on TV every week. Let's forward now, almost 10 months later. Impact right now is under the radar. Nobody pretty much watches this. Okay, They have a Impact champion who's a female, who the minute she got that belt, she was in turmoil. She came in that match with turmoil. Now she got stuck in Mexico. She couldn't defend the belt. All of a sudden, Moose come out with an old TNA belt because the world champion is stuck in Mexico. So, and they trying to do the same thing that every other promotion is doing right now. Like I think AAA is doing it. AEW and WWE is having a show with no fans in it, which is not bad. You got to do what you got to do to pay your keep your company going. But don't talk about that New Japan is butthurt when right now New Japan is still on the radar, and once they start all over again, they're still going to be making noise while Impact is still right now in Access channel, the channel that no one watches. Okay, they can't even get into no stream because they had I think Twitch. They got kicked out of Twitch because of the Rob Van Dam situation. They still have old wrestlers in there. Don't know why. You're paying Tommy Dreamer. I don't know why. Tommy Dreamer is a WWE Shield to begin with, but he's still employed by Impact. You got Rhino, another guy who's older than dirt, being employed by Impact, and so is our Rob Van Dam. So that's not a. You're not telling me nothing with that. Impact 10 months ago, people were bragging. They were making noise. Don't get me wrong. Slammiversary was a great show, but then ever since that, they had went downhill. Ever since Brian Cage lost the belt, they've been downhill. I mean, I don't care if you put Tessa the belt, but when Tessa, I was all for Tessa winning the belt. But once Tessa touched that belt and all those accusations came out, it was a wrap. There was nothing she could have done. There was nothing that Impact could have done. It blemished Impact, and Impact hasn't been the same ever since. They lost so many talent, and guys could say, "Oh, they've re-signed Susie. They re-signed Soon Young." They're not needle movers. They're not doing nothing. They're not making no noise. Okay, you can't afford to be losing wrestlers. Let's be realistic. You can't. The North is the best thing you got going on right now. The North, Michael Elgin, is the two individuals you got there. Moose, he's not a needle mover either. So, I don't know. I can see it. I don't know. They need to get more people. But right now, Okada was not happy being in the United States when he was with Impact. And that's another clue that tells you is not coming to WWE either. Because especially what they've done to Nakamura in WWE. So that's not going to happen anytime soon. Anytime soon, he's not coming in. And Triple H just said he wants Nakamura in WWE. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You see what they've done to Kushida in NXT, right? I hear nothing about Kushida. Same thing with Nakamura. Nakamura, they made a mockery out of him. He had the Intercontinental belt, but they could have done so many things with him and AJ Styles after the WrestleMania 34, 35, one of those. They could have done a lot of stuff, but they dropped the ball. That WrestleMania will never compare to the match between AJ and Nakamura in Japan a couple of years ago. I think it was one of those. It wasn't Wrestle Kingdom, but they did 35 minutes of great match, and that will never happen again. So that's it, guys. This is the video that I have for today. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think about this video. I mean, whether positive or negative. Again, give me a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell to get every upload every week. I'm doing what I call the road to 5,000 views. And the road to getting 60 subscribers. If you guys can help, I would appreciate it. Like I said, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow me there. Also, I got an audio podcast and Anchor. It's also in Apple, Spotify, Pandora, and any platforms that you like listen to audio podcasts. I do my audio podcast on Monday and Thursday. Monday I do wrestling news and rumors, and Thursday I do the AEW review, so you guys can check that out. So hit me up. Let me know if you want to get to know what I'm all about. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Till then, guys, just be safe. Hopefully this is over with. This whole crisis, this craziness, hopefully it'll be over soon. So, stay safe. Social distancing, 6 feet away. Until then, I'll see you guys soon.